Hello, Trailblazers. Welcome to the Trailblazers Palette Podcast. I'm your host, Sancha Marshall, and I'm excited about this conversation. My guest is Connie Vartiainen, the creative mind behind Shimmer Drops Paint. I actually use her paints in my own work, and they're absolutely stunning. Connie went from being an art teacher for over 13 years to making her own handmade watercolours full-time. Today we're chatting about that journey, the artistry behind those beautiful shimmer paints, and what it's really like running a creative business while raising young kids. Connie, you are the creator of Shimmer Drops Paint, and I guess that's how I know you, because I've bought and used your beautiful paint. And so I guess to start out with, if you can just share with us, I guess, how you ended up where you are.
Yeah, well, it's it's a long story now. I actually am a qualified art teacher, and I did like a fine arts degree, like that's sort of my background. And yeah, I think one day as you sort of teach paint and painting to kids, I always talk about the fact that these great artists that we look at made their own paint. They didn't like go down to the shops and buy a tube of paint. They used to make their own paint. And we always talked about that. We talk about pigment and all that sort of stuff. And then one day I thought, why do people make paint? Like, is that a thing that happens? I don't think that. I was like, I wonder if I can make my own paint. And then I just sort of started researching, how do you make, acrylic paint? How do you make oil paint? How do you make watercolor paint? After doing a little bit of research, I thought I can make my own watercolor easily. I thought I could probably make watercolor, and I tried making acrylic, I tried making oil, I tried making watercolor, and I think watercolor was the one thing that I thought I can do this. And then I just started making my own watercolors. I really liked the process of mulling paint and that sort of thing. I really liked the experimenting and trying to make paint that kind of worked. At the start it was like, how much binder do I make? Even trying to find a binder recipe online was...
Imagine it would be quite technical. And I think that's what I love on your Instagram too, is watching that mulling process. It's just
that
like
mulling.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Like, it's nearly, relaxing.
Yes, yeah, I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, I love following you. I love your videos. They're so relaxing. I watch those just
Yeah.
before I go to bed." People telling me they love the relaxation of watching my videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, that's basically how it started. I just sort of thought, I'm going to try and do this. And then, just researching, lots of trial and error with making a binder that kind of works well. And then, just kind of stumbling across a mix that kind of worked. And I think when I first made a paint that was good, I was like, was tested it one evening, and I was saying to my husband, "Oh my God, this is so good. This paint is so good." Like, I was like, it's so buttery and smooth. Oh my gosh. I was so excited, because I was like not expecting it to be that good, because I kind of thought, if it doesn't turn out that well, I might just give it to the kids, So I'll just paint with it in the backyard. But I was like, oh no, I'm keeping this, is mine.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I was kind of doing that while I was teaching, basically. Yeah. And then, I made my own paint for a long time, just to sort of use my own, just for myself. And then, I don't know, just one day I sort of stumbled onto the shimmers, and I thought, this is cool. Like, these are amazing. The color shifts are
I
so
love the
cool.
color shifts.
They're so cool. And I just thought, I've got to see if I can start my own business, because I kind of have always wanted to have my own business. It was kind of like a dream of mine. Maybe I could have my own business. And I thought, I might try and, sell these and see what happens. And then, just one thing led to another, and now I'm not teaching, and I do this full time.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I was going to ask you, how was that transition from, I guess full-time teaching to doing full-time now in your own business, and
It was
seeing that growth, I guess.
Yeah, it was. I didn't actually think that it would happen. I sort of thought that it would be like I would just teach, and I would sort of do this a little bit on the side for a bit of a hobby. But then the business kind of grew very quickly during COVID, which a lot of smaller businesses kind of did, because of the sort of climate of COVID and everyone being at home and needing to be busy. Needing something to do. And it just got busier and busier and busier. And then it was very busy at one point. I was trying to do both at the same time. And then I thought, if I don't one thing has to give, like either the
Mm-hmm.
paint thing needs to give or the teaching needs to give, because I can't do both at the same time, because I was working so much, I was working so
Yeah,
much. And then
yeah.
I just decided, you know what, I'm going to take a year off teaching and see where it goes. And then I took 1 year off. And then at the end of that year, I thought, well, maybe I'll do another year because it's still going well. And then, yeah, at the end of that year, I was like, maybe I'll just keep going and see what happens, and we'll see.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
yeah.
go back to teaching at some point. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm still up in the air with that one. Yeah.
I think I came across you through Jessie. She does the mandalas and that. She's like, oh, like try these
Oh, yeah.
paints. And then, yeah, I came across the color shift ones and I was like, oh, wow, these are
Yeah.
amazing. For those that don't know, the color shift is it's when as you move across the paint, it transitions from one color to another, isn't it? And I think do
Yeah.
they use the pigments in things like makeup and things as well, like nail art.
Yeah, those pigments, I think, traditionally were from like cars. Like you
Yes,
see those
yes.
cars that are
The
like, you
pearlescent
look at it,
type as you see them
basically
drive
it's like
past.
black, and then as you kind of go onto the
Yeah,
other side of it, you're like, that's a green now.
it's
Those
so
that's
cool.
kind of where those pigments started. And then yeah, they started using
Mm.
them in nails, and then yeah, I was like, every time I see different pigments, or my suppliers will show me a different pigment. Like a lot of the pigments I use are definitely not traditionally used in watercolor. They're,
Yeah, which
they're
I
not made
love.
for watercolor at all. So there's sometimes I'm dealing with, trying to get these pigments that are so cool to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
watercolor. Like I'm dealing with trying to get a binder that is going to hold these pigments together in some sort of way. They're, yeah, but that's where they kind of started, those kind of automotive. That's what it's made for. Yeah, but then they've
Yeah, and
become
then
part of
bringing
part of
that, I think,
every.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I think
they're
that's what I
just, yeah,
love is
everyone's
like
using them. Yeah,
bringing that into the watercolor. It adds something that wasn't there before. Because I mean, as beautiful as watercolor it is, it can sometimes be a little flat, especially. I know I was looking at the earth colors and that for a while, which are very kind of muted. So I love
yeah,
the pop that they give.
yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people use them for just like detail. They love to layer them over
Yes.
traditional watercolors. I think when people sort of first find Shimmer Drops Paint, they think that you use them on their own. Like you can just, I mean, I know I have a lot of
Mm.
customers that just use Shimmer Drops Paint and nothing else. But a lot of people use them in combination and layering over traditional watercolors, and they work really beautifully just to add a little bit of detail over the top of your work. So yeah, they're really nice that way.
How's it been for you, Connie? I guess seeing it grow from you using the paints at home to now seeing all the different artists that do use your paints.
Oh, it is the best. It is,
Yeah.
it's so good. I mean, I love people sending me things, in my DMs or via email. They send me pictures and videos and things like that of things that they've made. I love it. Like I love a little thing that I've done, make these tiny little pots of paint, and
Yeah.
they go out into the world, and people send me the most incredible things back that they've created. And I think I just love that I can, I don't know, it's like add in a very small way into people's creativity, like be inspiring in some way. Like I have people messaging me and emailing me and saying, I kind of was in a bit of an art slump and I haven't done anything for a really long time. And then I've discovered your paints and I'm just creating every single day. And I love that. Like that is everything, because creating and being creative is, it's such an important thing to me. And I think it's important to a lot of people. And I think, what it's like sometimes as an artist, you get a little bit, I don't know, you get into an art slump. You think, I don't really
So
know what I'm
absolutely.
doing, or I don't know what to do, or what to make, or I don't know. And then just having something kind of spark you, and being part of that, I think it's amazing.
I think that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Seeing, I guess, your growth true on social media and that. How has social media been for you? And I like to ask this of the creatives I have on, just because I've personally struggled with social media and finding that balance. And how much do I post, and how do you find that?
Um, yeah. It's good and it's good and it's bad. It's
Yeah.
good because it connects you with people. Without it, I wouldn't be where I am. The business definitely wouldn't be where it is without it. But in a lot of ways, sometimes you just got to get something done, especially if you're creating. Like if you're an artist, I think it's different for me because, I'm making things, I'm making paint, and I think I've got to film my process. Sometimes I've got so much to do in a day, and I think I actually need to film this now. If I don't film it and show it to people, no one's going to see it. And it does take up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
But I think as an artist, sometimes when I'm creating something, I don't want to film it. I just want to do it. I just want to make it. You know what I mean? But I think sometimes for artists now, if you're not filming and putting your stuff out there, it's really hard to get yourself out there. You know what I mean? Like it's like you can't just paint something and then just show it. You
Yeah.
kind of, it's sort of turned into this world of you need to show every little stage of your creative process. You need to show the brush strokes. You need to show, the start, the middle, and the end. You need to tell a story with the painting that you've created rather than just having the creative experience. So it
Yeah.
can be a little bit, it's difficult. It's a difficult balance
Yeah.
to be like, how much do I do?
Yes, yes. And I think and that's it. It's I guess balancing you as a person, how much you want to show and letting people into your work because it is, very much a visual medium that people like to be a part of, don't they? It's probably like people were liking seeing your mulling, they like to see the brush strokes and how a piece was created.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And it's interesting because I mean for me personally, sometimes I'll put out a video and I think, I don't know, this is something that like the bubble popping. Every time I fill pans, there lots of bubbles come up constantly throughout the process. Like I'll fill a pan, then bubbles come up, we pop them, and then they get popped again, 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 again. I did a video and I posted the bubble popping and it went crazy. People were like,
Oh,
more
wow.
bubble popping videos, please. And I thought, wow, I have been popping these bubbles for 5-6 years now and not showing anybody. I didn't realize that this would be such an amazing thing for people. They wanted to see the bubble popping videos. And I was like, okay, cool. Sometimes you just don't realize what people are going to love and what they're
So
not going
maybe
to
that's the
love,
idea. We just put it all out there.
I know, just whatever. I think, okay, no worries. That's what you want to see. Go for it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I must admit, there was a watercolorist I was following. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Paulina Bright might have been, where she had the water drop and would drop the watercolor into the drop and have a close
Oh,
up of that.
yes.
And it was
Yes.
so beautiful to watch the paint kind of swirl. Yeah, it's very
Yes.
visual.
Yes, I've seen that too. Very, very beautiful. Very
And I think
beautiful.
that's what I liked about, the color shifts when you had them painted on the curled bit of paper and you could see
Yes.
the different colors. Yeah.
The shift just, yeah, from one part of the paper all the way across to the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
I
way of
think
displaying it.
yes, because it shows, I guess, what the two are. I must admit, when I use the color shift in my artwork, unless I do a pan over video, you can't really see the beauty of it in a flat photo. It's like,
Oh, it is so hard to show. I think that's one
yeah,
of my hardest things. Like sometimes I have got this incredible paint. I think this is the most beautiful paint. The shift on it is so good, and I just cannot capture it on video. Like it
yeah,
isn't. There's nothing I can do to show the shift unless I like walk around from one room to the next
yeah,
to show the lighting change. I can't
yes.
show it, and then I'll get this video that's like bump 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 of me walking walking walking. Um, yeah, so sometimes you're kind of caught with, I've got this beautiful thing to show you, but I actually can't really even show it to you. I've tried everything. I've
Yeah,
filmed it from every angle, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't show it to you. I'd love to.
That's it. Need the special lighting or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I was
don't know
going to
what that lighting is. I've tried everything, believe me.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't feel so bad then if I'm trying to, show it in my work if you're having trouble too. So,
It's really hard. Like I've had other people like
okay.
nail techs reach out to me, or lots of other people that use
Ah,
pigment very similar to mine and say to me, how do you show? How have you managed to show all the colors? And I'm
mm,
like, look, I've got a skylight where I am, so I've got lighting coming from this direction and it's natural
yeah.
light. Or I've done this and this, but like I understand it depends on the space that you're in, the room that you're in. If the lighting isn't right, you cannot see that color shift, unless it's hard.
That's good to know too. Creating your paints, how have you found that's impacted your life and vice versa?
I love the paint making process, and I just enjoy, I just love it. Like, I love my work. I think there'd be very few people that could tell you that they love their work. Like, I just love it. I look forward to working. My kids go to bed at night and I work, and I have a lot of work to do, and because I have young kids, my work, and I'm lucky because I work for myself and I'm able to move my work around my kids. I work at night a lot of the time, but it's not like I put them to bed and I think, oh my goodness, I've got to work now. I'm happy to do it. Like, I
Yeah.
love it. And because it's something that I enjoy so much, what better in your life than having a job that you enjoy doing? You like your work, you're happy at home. It's, what more do you want, really? I don't know whether it's just the fact that I get to be creative in some way all day long. I get to look at different colors. I get to create different colors. Even just the relaxation process of filling paint and mulling paint, it's almost like that mindfulness. It's
Yeah,
like
like a
that's what I'm doing
meditation
at
kind
work.
of.
It is. It really is. I feel like that's probably, I get this like, oh, okay, I get to sit here and just fill paint and, listen to an audio book or a podcast or something. It's
Yeah.
really quite nice.
It probably doesn't feel like work, and I think that's nice,
It
isn't it?
doesn't. I think that's what it is. It really doesn't feel like work.
Yeah. It's like, is this really, well, yeah, what I'm able to do every day? And how have you found balancing motherhood and doing your work?
It's a lot. It really is a
Mm.
lot. I mean, the good thing for me is I've been able to prioritize my kids and working everything around my kids. I still have one of my daughters, she's still in kinder, so she's at home 2 days a week. So I'm able to be with her 2 days a week. If there's something on at the primary school, I can go. It's completely flexible. And as I said, yeah, my kids go to bed at night, and I'm working. I'm working every night. I'm working pretty much 7 days a week.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but as I said, I don't. It's not. It's very enjoyable for me. So it's good that it's flexible. I can be with the kids. I can get the work done. But it is a lot. It is a lot when you're working for yourself, especially when you're running a small business,
Mm.
because I think the smaller the business, the more things you do. You have to do everything. You've got to do the marketing, and being a handmade business, it's not like I can place an order with a supplier and say, can I please have a
Yeah.
1,000 units of this? I have to make it. So if I sell out of something, it has to be made. Not only do I have to, am I the manufacturing part of it, but I'm also the retail part of it. So it is a lot of work. And I think that there's a lot of small businesses out there, but I think there's a big difference between a small business and a small handmade business, because you're doing two jobs at the same time. So it is a lot of work, but it's good that it's something that I enjoy. Like, if you don't love it, I don't think you could do it, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is probably, a lot of artists say that. It's, you're wearing so many hats, it's really overwhelming at times. And that's probably, yeah,
Yeah.
when you're balancing that with motherhood. And I know I find that personally is just because with homeschooling, I just don't get the time to put into what I do. And you were
Yeah.
saying with working 7 days, so there's the saying of work-life balance. But I admit, this is something me and my husband talk about, is that I think when you're doing something you enjoy, which you obviously do, it's not like, you're working yourself into the ground. So you need to have
No.
that balance of a Balinese holiday every 6 months or whatever, is it?
That's right. It's like a hobby. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I get to go and do my hobby now.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah. I
kids
think
go to
we,
bed. Oh, okay, it's hobby time. But really,
yeah.
it's, oh, I've got to pack these orders, and I need to what paint am I having to make on Thursday? And like, it's all that kind of situation. But it's so enjoyable. And sometimes, you know, like my husband and I have recently said, okay, we need to, like, Monday nights is our night. We just have to be like, no one is doing anything other than we just spend time together, which is good because, you know, sometimes you have to have that work-life balance. Like, okay, I do have work to do, but sometimes you need to be like, oh, actually, I need to prioritize this or that person or whatever. Yeah. You do have to sometimes carve it out when you've got so much to do and you've got customers asking you this, or you need to check that thing, or what's happening with that delivery. You know, there's always something to do. There's always 10 things to do. So sometimes you literally need to just carve out a couple of hours and say, I'm not doing anything now, or an evening and a week and say, I'm not doing anything on that night a week. You have to do it. Otherwise, even though you enjoy it, I don't know, maybe you will get burnt out after a while.
Yeah, I was
Who
going to
knows?
ask you how you manage, like if you do get overwhelmed, and like any tips for time management, things like that.
Look, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've kind of always been a bit of a workaholic. Like, I do like to work.
Mm.
I just like to get things done. I feel like having achieved something or getting something finished is a reward for me. So when I have something that I need to get done at the end of it, I'm like, oh, that was good. Look at that, it's completed. I am a very organized person. You need to be thinking about not just the things that are an emergency to get done right now. You need to be thinking about the things that need to be done in 3 months' time. Like, I'm thinking
Mm.
about Christmas now,
Yep,
because
yep.
Christmas is, you know, the biggest thing ever in retail. So yeah, Christmas is pretty much the biggest thing that I'm doing right now. And plus, I'm also thinking about, you know, what's happening with the next subscription box. Plus, I'm thinking about, you know, the few things that need to be happening. So it's like you need to be thinking about what's an emergency now, but you also need to be thinking about dealing with not having an emergency tomorrow.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, plan. If you're planned, it makes a big difference.
So you mentioned your subscription box. So I didn't know about that. That sounds cool. And I imagine that you're probably looking at your customers and business opportunities and that too. So how did this subscription box come about? Because that sounds really fun.
Okay, so the subscription box it's like a quarterly box, and it
Mm.
basically is 6 colors, so 3 color shifts and 3 shimmers in the box, and they're like a limited edition colors every single time. They're like exclusive colors. The reason why I did that was because I have like a range that's available all the time, but I have customers that want new paint. Like, they're looking for new colors all the time. You know, they're like,
Mm.
what's the new one? What's the new one? What's the new one? And I thought, how am I dealing with these customers? Because I'm trying to maintain stock levels on the paints that I've currently got, and I'm dealing with new customers coming in that have never seen any of my paints before, and they're buying the colors that I've got in my regular range. But then I've got customers that have already got the whole range and want new colors. What am I doing for those people? And I was like, I could be bringing out limited edition ranges, but I've got customers that basically every range that comes out, they're just buying that range. And I thought, if I do a subscription box, it's like a little surprise, right? It's like a little present that you get, because
Yeah,
you don't know what you're going
absolutely.
to get. You've got no idea what you're going to get. You're unwrapping it, and it's 6 new colors. And the good thing with the subscription box is often I do colors that I wouldn't do in a range. You know, sometimes there are pigments that are slightly, like, very, very expensive. Like the color shift, the color shift pigments are quite expensive, and there are some
Mm.
that are like a little bit too expensive for me to risk buying massive batches of, to put in the store and then go, did it sell? Didn't it sell? They're gorgeous paints, but then I think it's
Mm.
a kind of too much of a risk. Whereas I'm like, oh, the subscription box, these are people that I know already love the paints, and they're really good colors. So I can buy those pigments, those really cool, fancy ones that I'm like, oh, am I risking buying these pigments? And usually they go out in the subscription box. So yeah, I mean,
That's so
basically,
fun. That's so fun
yeah,
though. I
it's
mean,
so
as
good.
an
And it's,
artist, I think like that would be such a exciting thing for your creativity. Like, oh, how am I going to use these then?
yeah. And then, yeah, it's, as I said, it's like a little present you get yourself,
Mm.
your little present. You open it up and you're like, what have I got here? What are the colors? I don't know what they are.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And I think,
yeah, it's really popular. It's really, really popular, the subscription box. It's not as
wow.
it's more popular than I thought it would be. I thought there were certain customers that would, like, as I said, my customers that buy everything and they would jump on. Then I've got other customers that have bought like maybe one set and then go straight to the subscription box, and that's it. They like, oh, that's it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think
Yeah,
about it. I
yeah.
just want paint coming to my house. I don't want to look. Just give it to me.
So how does it work, Connie? Like if an artist gets something in those boxes and they love, say, one of those colors that you've mentioned that's more expensive, if they want to have that color again,
You can't get it.
you can't get it.
It is. You
Yeah,
can't get it. It's
and
a
that's probably the
limited.
beauty of it.
It is literally just a one-off. It's a one-off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's made, it's sent out, and that's it. I am thinking. I've just recently been thinking that I might make them available. Like you can buy past subscription boxes with like
Yeah.
like if I've got 5 or 6 boxes left over,
Mm.
which I haven't normally, but if I do, I could sort of have them available on the website, which I'm actually in the process of getting organised now, so that if you've missed a subscription box and you think I wouldn't mind those colours, you can actually buy like an older subscription box, but that would only be with the stock that's left
Yeah,
behind. So
yeah.
there'd be like 1 or 2 or something like that. Yeah.
Mm. It's kind of like a
But
limited
yeah,
edition print. It's like
it
getting,
is.
yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's the beauty of it.
And they're in the half pan, so they're the larger size. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I know they last quite a long time, don't they?
Yeah,
Especially,
they do. Yeah.
using them for
Yeah.
details and things.
Yes.
In your industry, like of the handmade paints, how have you, in your journey over the last few years, I guess, seen that grow and change?
Um, the shimmers are really popular. The
Mm.
shimmers and color shifts are really, really popular. And also, I think the other thing that's becoming really popular is having smaller size containers. It used to be everything was available in half pans, but I think people are really liking being able to get quarter pans and mini pans. And I think the reason for that is because the pigments are so expensive, the paints are very expensive. And because people are wanting to use them for details, they usually don't need a full half pan. Some people do. Everyone's
Hmm.
different, depends on how much you're painting. It also depends on how many colours you want. But, I think the industry has changed in that you need to basically provide smaller containers, smaller portions of the paint available for people, because some people want to buy, a mini pan. They just want a tiny, tiny little bit of paint. So it's at a cheaper price point. So it's actually accessible to more people. And that's basically the biggest thing that's changed I think in the industry. The other thing I'm finding is that the colours, people are sort of changing the colours around. There's so many colours available. There's just lots and lots of different colours available. So, it just depends on what you're bringing out, and
Mm.
that's why I've always got there's always new stuff coming out, isn't there? There's just always something. There's
Yeah, I was
always
gonna
new
say,
colours
how do you
coming
balance
out.
all that and choose what to choose which
Yeah, I
ones to
think
do
you
or not?
just
I'd find that
oh, you
overwhelming.
just test. You just test
Yes.
and test and test. Yeah, I mean, I get lots of, some are good, some are not so good. Some are good,
Yep,
some are
yep.
not so good. You just get them, and I just test them and see which. And as I was saying, it's, these paints are not made for watercolor, so some of them will bind really well with the binder and others won't at all. So, any new pigments that come out that look good, you have to test them, and see how
Right.
they're going to mix with the binder and how they're going to reactivate. And some are good, and some you're like, no, that's no good. That's no good.
Not that
So you just
one.
have to
Yeah.
test. Not that one. Yeah, you just can't. Like,
Yeah.
even
And
though
how do
that's a really
you
gorgeous color.
and how do you like how do you do that? Like, is that samples and you kind of just have to test
Yeah,
it
so I
out
would
and
get yeah, so
yeah.
I just get samples from different suppliers, and then I basically would make a basic binder. So I've got like a basic binder that I make, and I would basically make the paint, lots of little samples of the paint. I'd test it when it's just wet off the like slab and see what the colour looks like. But then I would let it set in a pan, completely dry.
Because you layer in your pans and you've got to see how that
Yeah.
will then reactivate.
Yeah, well, it's more, yeah. So basically, I would just put like a small amount in a pan, just one layer, let it dry completely, and then I would see how it reactivates. Because sometimes it depends, you know, like every pigment is sort of different and how it sits. And because with watercolor, it needs to, well, with my type of watercolor, it needs to reactivate from a dry pan. So sometimes it paints beautifully off the slab, like off the wet watercolor that you've just made, but once it's dry and it reactivates, it doesn't reactivate very well. And it also, sometimes the binder isn't right for that particular pigment, because these pigments are, as I said, they're not made for watercolor.
They're
you
heavier,
need to kind of
aren't they?
adjust.
So you would...
Yeah, they are. They are heavier, and sometimes they're a little bit thicker. And so sometimes you need to adjust your binder. So with the basic, after I've tested with the basic binder, I can tell, okay, this might need the binder adjusted this way, or it might need to be adjusted that way. And then I would then retest, thinking, okay, this pigment needs, you know, a little bit more of glycerin, for example, and then I'd retest it and see if how the you know, the second binder works with that pigment. And if it's good, then I might be like, okay, well, we'll make this paint. And if it's no good, then it might be like, well, no, this one's not working with any binder, and we're not making
shelve
this
that
one.
I find it fascinating.
Yeah, it's
really
work.
Do, yeah.
It's work, but it's fun work.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you like that kind of technical side of it, and working the binder and all that out?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's good. I've got like sheets. I've got like sheets that I kind of write notes on. So once I've tested, I kind of I've
like
got all of that. I'm very organised. Oh yes, I do enjoy
it probably
that.
Pays
it's fun
to be organised with that.
Oh, you have to be. Otherwise, you're like, what was this one again? I can't remember. Yeah, you got to write all of that. But I love testing new colours, though. That is the funnest thing ever, because it's always like, oh, what is this? It's like, I get so excited. I just want to make them all. I'm like, yes, there's 20 new ranges coming out.
Do you ever get... I was going to say that. Like, do you ever get colours and that, and you're just like, oh, wow, you know, this is so much better than I thought it was going to be, or...
Oh, 100%. Sometimes, you know, it's like I'll have new colours coming out, and then I'll have like other colours that I've got to make. And I'm like, okay, I've got to finish this range, and then I've got to make that new range. And I'm just like busting to finish the range that I already know what the colours look like, so that I can start making the new one, just so I can like look at it and be like, oh, this is like new, something new to look at. Yeah. But then what will happen is, if I haven't made a range for a while, I'll be filling it and I'll be like, oh, this colour is gorgeous. I haven't seen this for ages. This is really nice. I forgot how nice
it's like a rediscovery.
100%. I'm like, I should use this actually. You know, next time I'm painting, I need to get this colour out. I forgot about it. It's crazy.
When it reminded the Shimmer Drops Paint, when I think it was in like grade 6 at school, I bought a holographic folder that was shiny, and it had like and I remember sitting it on my desk at home and just like moving around and watching the colours shine. It's like,
I love it.
Yeah, I've always loved those shiny things, like glitter and things we're not supposed to use as a proper watercolorist.
No, don't. That's not sensible at all.
No, that's it. And I think that's what makes it fun, which was interesting to say when you said about, you have other artists who are excited by your paint. And I think that's what, as an artist, you see the possibilities, and that's always really important. And I was going to ask you about your own work, because I didn't know you were an artist too. So like, what do you like to paint, and how do you like to bring your shimmer paints into what you do?
Oh, I do a little bit of everything. I think traditionally, when I was, you know, years ago, I was more of I did lots of oils and acrylics and stuff like that. And when I first had my son is when I really got into watercolors, because I found it, well, I mean, oils is so
quick.
hard to clean. It's clean. Whereas watercolors are quick. Watercolors are like, there's no cleanup. You just close the tin and you're done. And the washing up is so fast. So I got into watercolors then. I paint all sorts of things. I'm not really, and I don't even paint things to show people. It's just myself, really.
For
Like
you, for
I
your
used to do
creativity.
lots of, yeah, I used to do lots of different kinds of things like animals and plants and stuff like that. But these days I kind of have a visual diary, like a little book that I just whatever, whatever. And
Yeah.
I've just recently got I bought two recently for my kids, one for my son and one for my daughter. And I basically, it's like my inspiration to create things. And every so often I'll just open them up and paint something inside there. And I thought to myself, at some point I'll give one to the one that's my daughter's to her and one that is for my son to him. And it's just different things that we'll do during the day. Like if
Well,
we
that's
go to the
really
park,
lovely.
I'll just paint something from the park, or if we've gone to the
Yeah.
zoo, I'll paint something from the zoo, or if we've gone to the circus, I'll paint a circus thing. And it's just little things that I go, oh yeah, we went to the circus, I'll paint a clown or whatever on today's page, just as a little, oh yeah, what can I do? Oh, that's right, we did that today, and I'll just paint that. And then I thought that way I can give it to them and be like, oh, there you go, that's something that I created while you were young.
That's really
And you can
beautiful. I
have
like
that
that.
one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's basically what I do now. That's the only creating I really I have time to do, because I'm spending all my
Yeah.
time making paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you still enjoy the process of all you do? Like, I guess what I'm sort of asking there is, do you have challenges in what you're doing? Like, even though we sort of, I know as an artist, it's our happy place and that, but there's still so much frustration in that, but it's worthwhile frustration.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
100%. Especially because I feel like I am quite out of practice. I used to
Mm.
paint a lot and more regularly. I think I even got to the point where I was painting and drawing things that weren't like, I kind of was almost scared to draw things. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
need to draw a clown or something, like back to that clown reference, and I'd be thinking about, how am I going to do this really simply? Like, what's the most simple clown shape I can come up with, rather than saying to myself, you know what, you can draw a clown. Like, you've done this before. You actually have the ability to draw. Like, just sit down and draw something. I'd be like trying to simplify it as much as possible. It's like I've gotten scared to draw because I'm so out of
Yeah.
practice. It's like, it's okay. Put yourself out a little bit. Try it. If you fail, it's going to be fine. You'll just pull it together at the end. There's always a stage in your creative process where you hate it, isn't it? So surely
Absolutely.
halfway through,
Yeah.
surely halfway through, you're like,
Multiple times.
I hate this thing. This is terrible. And then at some point in the end, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah.
to go through that, right? Yeah.
So it's got to go through the ugly stages, both
It
in,
has to go through the
frustration
ugly
and
stage. Yeah, I was trying to avoid that. I'm like, why are you trying to avoid the ugly stage? Just get in there and
I
make it
just want to go
ugly.
straight to the good.
That's what I was trying to do. I was like, how can I just make this really good from the start? It's like, no,
Yeah.
that's not how it works, actually.
No, I totally get that. I think that I've gotten lost in that too sometimes, is that end, how I want it to look at the end.
Yeah,
And I can't skip the middle bits.
no,
It's
you
it's got to
cannot.
have the
It's got to
I've
happen.
got to enjoy the journey.
You do have to
Mm.
enjoy the journey, because then you feel like a sense of satisfaction at the end that you fought and you
Yeah.
had that ugly stage and you made it good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's that hero's journey, isn't it? It's the.
yeah. It was
I
like
was gonna.
something I saw. Sorry,
No,
I
you go,
saw something
Connie.
online the other day that said, just make it exist first and then make it good later. And I was like, that's so true. Just get it on the page and then deal with the
Yeah,
making it good later. Yeah, 100%.
really true. And I think with art and that, I had a drawing book that I always really liked, and he always said, get started now on the drawing and do those 1,000 bad ones, and then start, at that stage maybe critiquing yourself a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's that, giving yourself permission, letting it be crap kind of thing. I was going to ask you, Connie, if you had any kind of cool stories or artist experiences with Shimmer Drops paints that you've kind of been blown away by.
There's things, I mean, I've had people send me artwork, which I just think is amazing. Like, I mean, I've had lots of people sort of, not only just email me things, but I've had people like physically mail me
Oh,
artworks
that's
or
beautiful.
cards which they've created using my paint, saying thank you so much, which I just I just think is absolutely gorgeous. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I can say. There are lots of artists that I've met along the way, which I can call my friends now, people that I
Yeah.
know so well. Yeah, when I get to my PO box and I open it up and there's something in there that's unexpected, and it's an artwork that somebody has painted and decided to send me.
Oh,
I
that's
just think
sweet.
that is unbelievable. I think how that really shows you the impact that the paint has made on somebody's life, that they
Yeah.
think, I actually am going to send this back to the person who's made this paint for them to see what I've made. I think it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. So I think that's probably the biggest, most impactful thing for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Do you think we underestimate the power of art?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I just also I feel like, in this day and age with all this AI stuff that's happening, with the, you can, people are here getting so excited. Oh, look, you can do this and it does this and it makes this and look, it does this drawing. And I think, I feel like AI is good in the way that, it should be taking away the things from us that we don't want to do. It shouldn't
Mm.
be taking away the things from us that we do want to do and makes us human. I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
we being creative, a person expressing themselves in a creative way. Why would we want to take that away from
Yeah.
ourselves? Being creative and making art is something that everybody values. I mean, if you
Mm.
speak to anyone, like when I was an art teacher, and even now that I make paint, the amount of people that when they find out what I do will say to me, "Oh, I love art. I loved art when I was in school. Oh, art was my favorite subject. Oh, I loved it. I loved my art teacher." And then I'll say, "Oh, do you do anything now?" And they'll say, "Oh, no, I haven't done anything for ages." And I'm like, "Why?
Mm.
You
Why does that
loved
happen? Hey.
it. You loved it." I'm like, do something, anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it because we get very self conscious? We get very like, this doesn't look perfect.
I wonder. I wonder if we lose the ability to play sometimes and just to
100%.
yeah, and just to let something be. Like, I mean, I think there has to be a reason why the coloring books were so popular and that and still are, because it gives
Yeah.
maybe people don't quite know, like maybe art feels overwhelming too. Some people have said that people who maybe haven't done it for years, it's like, where do I start? Yeah, I'm not very good. The amount of people you hear say, I can only draw a stick figure, even though
Yeah.
we know that drawing is a skill-based thing that we learn and anybody can learn it. It is a perception, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. People are like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
do that. Like, well, I actually couldn't do that either. Like,
Mm.
just because I can draw something now, like, don't think that I could before. Like, I've done that because
Yeah.
I practiced and practiced and practiced. Like, that's something
Yeah.
that I chose to, put my time into. I think kids are very, like, having taught in primary schools, I think kids are very focused on the experience of
Yeah.
creating. Like, it's the fun. I'm painting
Mm.
something now. When they're very young, they just like the process. And then as you get older, you probably start looking at what it looks like at the end. And
Yes.
then you might start going, I don't like it now, what it looks like. And I'm not enjoying the
Yeah.
process anymore because I wanted it to look like a certain way and it doesn't. And then they,
Yeah.
that maybe that's why a lot of people give up. Yeah. Which
Yeah,
is
I think
sad.
so. It is, yeah. And I think that it's nice to know that there's so many arenas in art, abstract, and you can usually find your place somewhere in there.
Oh,
And
100%.
that's the
There's
beauty of it. And
something.
that, yeah, that's what I like it because it's not boring. I'm like, if I don't want to do that, I can do that or that or that. As long as I'm making something, I can, be happy.
Oh, and just was it recently I saw people doing, is it called fridge scapes? People
Oh,
like
it's
creating. Oh,
okay.
I saw it and I loved
I
it.
saw the
People
photography
like,
version of that. Oh, no, I think what I was watching was people were doing videos of their fridge, of like a fridge makeover, like they were making their fridge pretty. What would
basically,
people
yes.
paint?
No,
Okay.
like people would just no, like making their fridge pretty. So you open up the fridge
Yeah.
and inside they had made it like Bridgerton themed. and
Yes.
everything, like the bowls and everything. And I was looking at that going, this is just somebody being
Yeah.
creative.
That's what I
This
thought it
is
was so
somebody
cool.
going, this is somebody going, how am I going to bring creativity into my
Mm.
life? I'm doing this, and I thought, this is
Yes.
amazing. This is just somebody reaching out for creativity in their life and finding an
Yeah.
avenue. I just thought, this is amazing. And I love,
Yeah.
people's, being able to do that. I thought it was great. I thought, this is cool.
Yes.
Like, isn't the world amazing? And aren't people just so amazing that they can go, I don't know, I'm at home and I might not be able to do much else,
Yeah.
but I can do a fridge scape and I love it now.
Do you
And
think,
next week I'm
because
going to have a different theme.
I remember seeing that some of the comments on those videos, and maybe that's what it comes back to, is that, it's like, oh, what, were you so bored you had to do that? It's maybe judgment as well, that we
Oh, yeah.
like we had like we're afraid of being judged for being playful or childlike, or but yeah, some of those fridgescapes were amazing. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were
And it's just,
incredible.
I know. I just think, I mean, my
And
fridge is a
it's
mess,
art
but
in itself, isn't it?
it is 100% art. It is just a
Yes.
creative avenue. Everyone will find, when you are,
Mm.
a creative person, you will find a creative avenue. It may not be drawing or painting, it might end up
Yes.
being a fridgescape, or, it could be photography, or, or something
Yeah,
else.
there's so many different ones, isn't there?
Mm.
I can't remember the name of the lady, and she, early 1900s, but she was doing the wire sculptures. They were really delicate and beautiful. Apparently, but yeah, anyway, her whole thing was these really intricate wire, huge sculptures, and so beautiful. But yeah, she was looked down on in her
Yeah,
time, it being not worthwhile.
yeah,
And maybe
yeah,
because she was a woman of color as well. But yeah, these pieces are
possibly.
incredible.
Yeah.
So, Connie, I guess, do you have any advice for anyone else starting out in a creative field after, knowing what you know and having your journey that you've been on?
A creative field or a
Yeah,
creative
so I
business?
guess artists or people, yeah, going into the creative arena, whether it's, yeah, photography, art.
I mean, I think being online is important. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
it is important. I think that's been one of the biggest things for me, and then one of the biggest things that's made my business successful, being online. Trying to build community, I think, is a really
mm,
big thing as well. If you are online, you kind of end up having people that are attracted to the thing that you're doing, and just posting regularly. Unfortunately, I don't know whether people like to hear that, but you do need to post regularly. You need to post regularly, just reaching out and connecting with the people that are connecting with you on your
yeah,
pages, and just being like true to who it is that you are, like being your own
yeah,
genuine self, not trying to be anything other than what it is that you are and who you are.
yeah.
Because if you're trying to be something else, it's kind of, you're going to be a bit, it's not going to it's not going to
And
sit right,
it's
really,
nearly a
and
recipe
it'll
for
come
burnout, I
undone.
think.
It'll come
Yeah,
undone. It'll come undone.
absolutely. Letting people into your world, I think, isn't it?
And I think being yourself, posting just anything, like, I think sometimes you don't really, as like with the bubbles thing, you just don't even know what people are going to connect with. You just don't know
Mm.
what people are going to connect with. And just, if you open
Give it
up,
a go,
you
kind of
do,
thing.
give it a go. And do you know
Yeah.
what? You have to be willing to let people into your world. You absolutely
Mm.
do. I mean, in this day and age, you absolutely do need to be willing to let people into your world. I think there's a lot of push for, you have to show your face on the internet. There's a lot of that. And I don't. I don't know whether you noticed
Mm.
that.
No, I did notice that,
um,
Connie, and yeah, is there a reason for that? Like, do you mind me asking you about
yeah,
that?
no, that's
Because
okay.
I don't believe you
I
have to show your face.
I don't think you do have to show your face. There is a
Yeah.
big push for it. Like, I know that if you
Yes.
do, you probably are going to get a lot more, like, you're going to get a lot more followers, views, more connection. I feel like you do. But
Mm.
I'm a sort of private person.
Yes.
It's very,
Yes.
like I feel like I don't know whether I'm comfortable enough to be able to get in front of a camera and start talking to people. I'm happy to do a voiceover, and I feel like that's one of the things that you can still connect with people with voiceovers. There are really,
Yes.
really successful people online that just do voiceovers. You'll never see their face, and all they do is
Yeah.
voiceovers, and you're able to connect with somebody by just talking. You absolutely can, if that's how you feel comfortable. So you've got to find your comfort level. At the end of the day, you need to make that decision. I know people that post and all they do is just film and use music, and they don't do voiceovers because that's where they feel comfortable. They don't feel comfortable
Yeah.
in speaking. Other people will do a voiceover. Other people are happy to speak to camera. I
Yeah.
think you need to find what is comfortable for you, and that comes back down to being yourself. You need to find that
Yeah.
thing that is going to be comfortable for you. And if you try and do something that isn't, it might not work so well.
Yeah. I always liked there was an artist I listened to in a podcast years ago, Ashley Longshore, a very professional, successful artist in the US, and she always said that she saw places like Instagram as another outlet for her being creative. So she could curate her feed or what she showed and that in a way that was attuned to her and was very much her, and she was a very loud out there personality, so she was happy to show her face and that. But you also
Yeah.
see that now on the other end of things, that there's very successful artists and creatives that don't show themselves and they do very well. So it's nice to know that there's multiple ways to do it, I guess.
100%. Yes, that's right. And I think, as I said, you've got to do what makes you feel comfortable at the end of the day, and you've got to make your choices really for yourself.
And fitting it into your life, trying to do it in a way so it doesn't become a burden to you and doesn't burn you out. Well, that's what I've had to find with that balance.
And also, I feel like if you like creating content for, like online, you almost need to set a day aside a week to create content. It depends on how much you're posting and how regularly you're posting. Like some people need to put two days a week aside to film and create content. And if you're going to be talking to camera, that might be 2 days a week. Some people might not have 2 days a week to be putting that time aside to be able to do that. Really, you need to be working out, how is this going to work? What time do I have? How, what day am I going to put aside for this?
Yeah, organizing it for you. I think that it sounds like you're a very organized person, Connie. So
You have to be.
yes, yes. Oh, well, it's been awesome to chat to you, Connie. Thank you so much for being on here. If you can just let everyone know, I guess, where to find you, and we'll also pop the links to your socials and that in the show notes.
Okay, so the website is shimmerdropspaint.com, and all of my socials are at Shimmer Drops Paint. So we're all over the place, basically. You'll find me on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and Pinterest and all of the places.
Awesome. I've loved
Thank
chatting
you
to you,
so
Connie.
much.
I was
Yeah, thank
I was
you.
so excited getting to know you, and I guess seeing the face behind the beautiful paints that I use.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you for joining us on the Trailblazers Palette podcast. We appreciate your support. Don't forget to subscribe and share if you enjoyed the episode. Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations with incredible guests. Keep blazing your trail, and until next time, stay inspired. This is Sancha, your host, signing off. See you soon, Trailblazers.